Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New View podcast. My name is Mac.
And my name is Megan.
Come along with us as we dive into the world of competitive Irish dancing and beyond,
sharing perspectives, developing community, and learning from each other.
We hope you enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New View podcast. My name is Harlow, and as you can probably already tell, it is not Mac or Megan today, but it's Aristea and I.
Hi, everyone.
And today we are having a very exciting episode, and we're just going to talk about all things North Americans, a bit of a recap for ourselves and our dance day, kind of the preparation leading up, and just like ways to reflect on a major, especially in the summertime, and how to keep motivated for the fall majors, and yeah, just to keep the love of dance going. And yeah, that's pretty much what to expect in this episode. So Aristea, if you could kind of start us off on how your North Americans went and yeah, the preparation in the lead up towards it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so obviously very exciting, very fun major and everything. I feel like one of the best things about North Americans is that it's in the summer, so you really get to focus on dance. And I don't know, I think it's just always so fun to have like summer training. Like I love like being hot, like rather than being cold. So like even those like sweaty dance practices I feel like are like so rewarding in the summer.
Yeah, they're the best.
So yeah, I live in Denver, Colorado, and I fly to Minnesota to train every like about twice a month. So I did that in June to prepare. And yeah, just going into the major, I was just feeling really excited. I switched all three of my dances, so there was a lot of work to get that choreography settled. And yeah, I was feeling just, I guess, like really refreshed in a way, even though it was right after Worlds and, just excited for the day. So
For sure.
yeah, some pretty good lead up. So yeah, what about you, Harlow?
Yeah, I would say pretty similar. I also switched all three of my dances, which I've never done before, but I think I went back to my old set and we revamped a bunch of it, but it was kind of like comforting in a way to go back to something that like was so like such like my own, I guess. And yeah, but my meetup looked a little different because I could not compete at this year's Worlds, and that was definitely a struggle. Not a struggle, but it was hard in the moment because like I came off of All Irelands and I actually came off a bit of an injury. So I think it was good for me to have like a break and have some time, as I probably would not have been at my best shape for Worlds just because of that injury. And yeah, so it was definitely hard to not go to Worlds because I love everything about competitions. Like Aristea said, like it's just like the vibes are so fun, especially the summer competitions. And it was definitely hard to not go, but I mean, everything works out and happens for a reason. So I feel like it was a great time to work on a lot of strength training and to kind of get back into it like slower than usual, just to allow my body to really feel good about everything. But yeah, I also felt like these North Americans, like I was just super excited to get on stage again. And one thing that was different about this lead up was I actually did more competitions in like the lead up, I guess, than I usually do. And I felt like very prepared on stage and felt confident on stage. Like it was kind of like practicing instead of going on stage and feeling like out of place. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the lead up was really good and I was quite happy with my preparation. And I mean, that's all you can kind of control. And yeah, so I guess back to Aristea. Walk us through a
Yeah.
bit of your dance day, maybe, how everything played out.
Yeah, for sure. I also like I love how you were talking about just like feeling like really comfortable on stage. Like I feel like, I feel like that comes across like in different ways for dancers and stuff, like either by competing a lot before or just different types of training. But I feel like that's such a huge priority that I think maybe gets overlooked is like feeling like really like comfortable and like at ease and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a big thing for me is performance. And sometimes, like, as much as you train, it'll always be different on stage. And I feel like the more that I've been on stage, like, the transfer between, like training to competing has gotten more cohesive. So I feel like that's a good thing. The more like you can get on stage and feel comfortable is better for your performance and you just feel a little bit more natural out there. Anyways,
Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah, so okay, dance day. I love Orlando and like that venue was my first NANs like 8 years ago when I was a U8. So like it was so fun to like come back and I stayed in like the same hotel and everything. And it was like so cute. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like
Yeah, that was
like
also my first
yeah.
nationals.
We're just like cute little baby dancers coming back and I was
I
like
know.
kind of feeling that like same feeling of like, oh my gosh, like this is so awesome.
Mhm.
But yeah, so dance day, there are three splits in U16 this year, and I was the only one who got the 8 a.m. start, which, I think is rude, but whatever. And so yeah, just woke up, like hair and makeup and stuff. My mom does both of those. I'm lucky enough that she's very artistic and can like get a look together. And yeah, I head down to the venue. I was on stage E too, which I really liked that space. It was like all open and
Yeah.
nice.
It was such a good vibe in there, like the purple background. I really loved it.
That was another thing I really liked. I love all the like different backgrounds. Like I thought that
Hmm.
was really cute. But yeah, so all my different random things. But yeah, so I was like I'm always like pretty early for my hard shoe round too. I always feel like it works out like that. But yeah, I am a very nervous person. I get super like anxious like competition days. But I've done like a lot of work before, and I feel like I've also just gotten to a better like spot in my dance career, like mindset wise, especially like honestly with like some of the stuff I've done with New View. Like I did that
Yeah.
mindset like webinar thing a few weeks ago, and just kind of like focusing on what I wanted to get out of the day, like what is in my control, and just like basically that was how can I enjoy my time on stage and then leave feeling like I did my absolute best and was like really proud of that.
Yeah.
And
That's such
yeah,
a great way to look at it because I feel like some people look at it like just get it over with, like get on stage, come off, and like whatever happens, happens. But I feel like there is a way to kind of like be in a controlled environment and be like, what do I want to get out of this, and how can I also enjoy my time on stage? But yeah, I like
yeah.
that.
No, absolutely. And I feel like it's so easy to fall into like I get like so nervous and so it's easy to be like I just want this to be over. But like it's you got to like remember that like cuz once it's over you're like, "Oh my gosh, I love competitions. Like there's a
Yeah.
reason I do this." So trying to stay in touch with that part of it and really like kind of enjoy those little moments in the morning like
Mhm.
even when you're just like warming up and stuff, like really keeping that positive mindset and just like like I'm excited for this, I'm ready, like I'm like made for this kind of environment. So yeah, so was really happy with my hard shoe round, and then I had like a pretty big break until soft shoe,
Mhm.
and yeah, I've honestly felt really happy with all my rounds that day, which was like a huge win. I just felt like really, excited about my dancing, and then walking off
Yeah.
stage, I felt like I, did the best that I could and
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, it was just an all around great day of dancing, and it was fun. I had the other girl who was competing from my school in my age group was also in the split, so it was fun that we got to be in the same room and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, like dancing wise, it was an amazing day. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like we kind of had similar days, I guess. My split started at 9, which was nice, but actually we didn't start dancing like they were running a little bit behind. So they actually started at 10. Like my group started at 10 and I was the end of the rotation. So I was on for my jig at like 11:15, which is probably the latest I've ever been on stage. So it felt really weird, but anyways, kind of backtracking. Yeah, like woke up, had got my makeup done, and I usually don't get it done, but it was nice to get it done by Camilla Rose. And then my mom did most of my wig, and then my teacher also kind of helped shape it and make it look pretty. And then, like, yeah, headed down and just kind of chilled out for a bit because it was such a late start. Like, usually I'm kind of locked in, ready to go, but it was nice to have a bit of time. So I just talked to some of my friends and just like enjoyed the morning a bit. And then, yeah, went out for my hard shoe round, and I was really proud of myself. Like, I felt like it was a great round and it kind of like transferred onto stage the way I wanted it to, that it had been in practice. So that was great. And I came out like really strong in the first step. Usually doesn't happen all the time. So I was happy with that. And then kind of actually different. I had my soft shoe right away, like literally like 30 minutes, which was crazy. So I threw on my soft shoes and yeah, my soft shoe round went really well. I had a couple of things which we'll talk about in a bit, like that I couldn't control what happened, and I was really happy on how I reacted to it, especially like after the dance was done, because I feel like as someone who's a bit of a perfectionist, like any little bit in a round that's not like exactly perfect can kind of like throw you off. But I feel like I kind of took it in a way like, okay, I've heard this thing and it's like be like a goldfish, like literally forget everything that just happened and just keep moving forward. Like there's no point of thinking about something again and again if like if it's not gonna serve you. So I kind of went back up to my room, had my Subway sandwich that I always do, gets me in my like mode for my set, and then yeah, I just had like probably the best one of my best sets of my life, which felt amazing. And like there's no better feeling than finishing your set and then you walk off stage and you're like like that period between the set and awards is like the best feeling ever because you've done everything that you can and it's out of your hands now. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was honestly really happy with my dance day and like the preparation leading up was like awesome too. So yeah, it was just a great day of dancing and it was great because some of my like I at got we had literally like seven of us dancers dancing on the same day. So it was crazy going back and forth from stages, but it was so great because we had like a community aspect and we could go and watch the other girls' sets, which was nice. But yeah, so that was the dance portion of the day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like also what you mentioned about like having a good set and then like walking off stage. Like I will stand by this. There's like no better feeling in
Oh,
the like you walk off stage and you're like in those like little stairs and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is
yes,
life. Like this is amazing."
no, yeah, it's like, and like no matter what, like I feel like finishing your set dance, whether you have like a super long one, I do have a longer set, so when I finally finish it, it's like, oh yes, like we did it. But no matter what your set is, like when you finally like bow, like it's the stairs, the walk down the stairs, I'm like, oh, like I just did that. And then like all the TV guys were back there and they were like smiling at me, and I'm like, yay.
I like I literally I love that like little backstage section. Like I've
Yes.
genuinely been back there and like I like talk to myself when I get off stage. I'm weird like that. And like I'll see the Fresh TV guys and I'll be like, thank you. Like I'm always just in like such a good mood. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, that just like period like after set, like from the moment you walk off, like through like I always get nervous at awards, so like through like the beginning of awards,
Yeah.
it's just like oh my gosh, like what a good feeling. Like I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I compete. It's just that like you
That
know
like kind of adrenaline that it's almost like a runner's high like you get from after like finishing doing
yeah
your set. It's like specifically the set dance round. I don't know what it
yeah
is. I think it's because you're by yourself, but yeah.
right.
No, I completely feel that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels so personal, like in the performance aspect of it too, because it feels like I feel like your first two rounds, it's a lot more like at least I feel like this way. Like you're trying to be like athletic and just like really like stand out as like a like competitor. It feels more like game like in that sense. And then I
Yeah,
feel like set is more like I don't know, I feel like very what I'm putting out is like my style of dancing and kind of
exactly.
like in that way. So it like in that way it kind of feels like a personal like performance so that when you finish it you're like wow like this really like came from me and so I don't
No,
know.
exactly. No, I love that. It's definitely it like enhances your strengths and it's all about what you can do best and like yeah, and if you know that you like performed it to your best, it's like such a great feeling. And yeah, no,
Mhm.
I love that. Yeah. It's the best feeling
Yeah.
ever. So I don't know. I guess kind of walk us through like awards and stuff. Because what's funny is both Aristea and I got fifth, which is so crazy that we both ended up getting fifth. But we're in two different age groups. But yeah, kind of walk us through how that happened. And yeah.
Yeah, so cute. We didn't even plan it, believe it or not. But yeah, so okay, also when the awards are like on stage and not just like at Worlds or All Ireland's where you're sitting down. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I get so nervous. I like standing on stage. It's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so like yeah, so I got fifth and kind of like even talking about we were kind of touched on this a little bit, like
Hmm.
controllables and uncontrollables. Like I, fifth is an amazing result, and I'm very proud of that. But it is like results are an uncontrollable recalls, like all of that. And like to be honest, like I felt like I was hoping for a little bit higher and stuff. And so I think like you know, I've come to a like spot in my dance career where like I feel like everyone always has like high and low results, and I feel like um, when you kind of acknowledge that like it's part of the sport, and then to just like take what you can from it and like be proud of everything that was part of the day because I think also what's hard is since results are at the end, you forget that it's only like it's a really small part of your dance day, and even if it
Exactly.
like goes super super well and like you win the world championships and stuff ultimately that's not like
Yeah, it's not the majority of the day. It's like everything
Exactly.
else, and then it's like right at the end. It's not even like the main part.
Yeah. So I think it's like really important to, just like let it be something that fuels you because we are competitive dancers and we compete, but also to take it as something that like, hey, this isn't in my control and I can be a good teammate, I can be someone with like good sportsmanship and I can be like, still an amazing dancer
Exactly.
regardless of what happens and just,
Mhm.
kind of try to take all the positives from it and then get excited for, whatever's coming next as part of it, I guess.
No, that's a great way to say it. And I feel like the result is always something, it's literally something you can't control. And I think of, I don't know, I feel like every competition is like this, like the lead up to the competition, 80% you can control, 20% kind of out of your control. And those are like injuries or like just weird setbacks or something like that. Whereas on the day, it's like 80% of stuff, like I feel like you can't control. Like majority of like the judges, like the like where you are in the rotation, who you're dancing with, like the results, like everything is like literally out of your control, and that 20% is how you dance and how you can like mentally get ready for the day and like how much you put in like positive energy in towards it. And I feel like it's so hard as Irish dancers because we put so much into this sport, and it's hard because like that placement is usually what everyone kind of identifies with. It's like, oh, you were number one this day, or oh, you didn't get a number that day. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's so hard to like differentiate that, but I don't know. For me, at least, I feel like I've kind of grown into someone who obviously like I have many goals and aspirations, and going into these North Americans, like I had my own like kind of goals. And yes, like getting fifth was such an amazing experience. And I mean, on the day, I feel like that's probably exactly where I should have placed with my dancing and everything. But I mean, it's hard. Like, you don't know who's in your split or who's in your competition. And sometimes just like weird things can happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you control your dancing and you control everything that you could, and like whatever happens, happens. That's literally what I always say. But I mean, yeah, I feel like it's just something to always like be excited for. And I don't know, this year at nationals I actually never got nervous. Like I was trying to be excited. Like every time I get nervous I try and tell myself I'm excited instead, because it's the same emotions, you get that same like jittery feeling. So even for awards though, I was pretty chill like the whole day. I was just trying to like keep calm and be like, okay, everything happens for a reason, and just kept reminding myself that. And I was even with the girls backstage, we were all holding hands for awards. I was like, it's okay, guys. Like, we're gonna be fine. Like, these next 10 minutes of our life aren't gonna change everything. Like, it's literally, it might be like the best moment, but who knows what can happen. And yeah, I was just trying to stay chill. But I mean, if you see me on Fest TV, I'm always jumping up and down when it's awards. I'm always so excited. But yeah, anyways, that's how I kind of felt how the
Yeah,
awards
absolutely.
part went. But I mean, yeah, you can never control it. So I feel like in some ways being like chill and just like low key vibes, it's almost better than like getting super hyped up for it, because I don't know, at the end of the day, it shouldn't change who you are and it shouldn't change why you love dancing.
Absolutely. Like I think it's important to separate your like identity as a person and a dancer from those uncontrollables, whether that be the results or like what we were talking about with like, bumps on stage or like your rotation or like injuries and stuff like that. Like I think it's really important to, see yourself as a person and a dancer first and foremost based off of like the things that you control with your training, with your attitude on the day, with how you take setbacks. And not to
Mhm.
say that like we all have bad days and stuff like that, like that's excusable for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like trying to build yourself up as a dancer who relies on that as what they at the end of like your dancing career or your day or whatever it is, like that you can look back and be like, wow, I really grew as a person and like as a dancer throughout this, and it wasn't necessarily defined by these uncontrollable moments. So
No, exactly. I love that. Like I want to look back on my dance career and like remember the memories of like the excitement, like literally walking off of my set. Like that's what I'll remember. I'm not going to remember the days where I won this competition or I got fourth here. Like I won't, like I hope that I just remember like the exciting moments that like genuinely filled me up from like my dancing and like my happiness. And yeah, like those moments that you were saying like in the studio when you're all sweaty and gross and stuff, but you love it. It's like that's why you're dancing. Like you get to these moments and you're like, okay, bad in the moment, but I mean, doing the stamina drill, it's like you can kind of laugh sometimes. Like it's fun. Like you know it's helping you and you know you're going to become a better person and a dancer becomes because of it. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if we want to kind of transition into talking about like what, it's kind of like an odd period of the year, I feel like, transitioning from NANs into like the fall season and all those majors and stuff. So I don't know if you kind of want to take us through some ways that like, you're kind of taking this season and.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the summer kind of training season is honestly one of my favorites because you can still have so much fun with your training as well as building key areas and improving certain aspects of your dancing. Like I always watch my Fetch TV videos after nationals and try and pick a couple of things that I think really need improving. Like I'll watch my dances and be like, wow, this really improved, or my stamina was great here, but I think my posture needs a little bit of work, or my I could really work on my arches over the summer. So I feel like the summer is a great part to really like work out and to work on those areas that need a lot of like attention because in the fall season you don't want to be spending like that time where you need to be building stamina and drilling your dances on something that you can fix over the summer, such as your posture or maybe toe height or something like something that you know needs a little bit of work and you don't want to spend all the time in the fall on that. So I feel like that's something to really work on the summer, but also something really fun that I love doing, and I know Aristea loves doing it too, is just making up steps and having fun. Genuinely, I have been practicing like some river dance stuff and practicing just making up trouble reels, and it's a great way to almost fall back in love with dancing, especially if you've taken a little bit of time off just to recover mentally and physically. A great way to get back in instead of just running your steps and like drilling is to have that fun and that freedom and literally watch videos. We were just talking about like going on Instagram and finding someone that you love watching and you love their style. Like literally try and learn a step of theirs or learn a step and then make it in your own way and maybe ask your teacher like, could we try and incorporate this some way? That's what I always do and I love doing that and it's so much fun. And also, like, make fun videos. Like, I love making trouble reel videos. I've made so many, and I'm planning to make more. So, like, just make up some fun steps and make sure you're having fun with dancing because that's the whole point, especially during the summer, and it will make you more motivated to keep going into the fall. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, yeah, it's such a unique time where it's like, obviously you're still training and everything, but it kind of takes on a different form. I feel like a lot more cross training for, yeah, those like bigger target areas where you want to make big improvements. Maybe it's like you're trying to learn a new trick or like a new piece, or you're trying to make big strides in like turnout or posture or something like that. So I think like this time is like such a great opportunity to kind of like you have that time and that space and energy to kind of work through these like bigger picture stuff that you don't really have time for in like competition season where it's more just perfecting and cleaning everything up. But yeah, and then I love what we're just love to talk about learning fun steps and stuff. I feel like it's such a great way to remember how much you love dance because it's just so fun. And
Hmm.
yeah, I was watching some Liam Costello videos attempting to learn some stuff. It's very humbling, but would definitely recommend.
But it's like a great
Yeah.
way to spend, like, instead of being like not doing anything, you might as well just put on your shoes and do
Yeah.
something fun. Like, I love watching, I would say, watch like old dance videos on YouTube and like there's like the 2008 like weird steps, but like they're so cool to learn and it's great for like the traditional dancing. I don't know, I love
Yeah.
watching like old steps and trying to like figure them out. Like David Guinea, he's
Mhm.
the best. He's not old, but he's good. So if you
Yeah.
want to learn anything, learn one of his dances. It's quite
I also
hard, but it's fun.
hmm I love to learn like trad sets too. I've like
Yes.
after majors, I almost always like come back to learning trad sets just because I think it's so fun and also for great exams. But
Yes, and also it's great to work on your basics. Like for the grade exams, like I'll be practicing like King of the Fairies, and I'm like, wow, like I've never known I have to pick up here, or I really need to work on my turnout on like the basic trebles because
right.
on like crazy rhythm and stuff, my feet can be turned out, but like on just like a simple treble, they're not. So it's like it's a great way to like learn back into basics and kind of get back into dancing, especially during the summer. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Just kind of a moment to like refresh yourself from, competitions or,
Hmm.
whatever you got going on, and just, have a new like outlook on dance for a little bit as you kind of transition into the fall and everything. And yeah, I think that's great. So
No, I love that. I love like the new outlook on dancing. I feel like sometimes when we're in the competition season, it's so like, oh, like we're so into the like the nitty-gritty of dancing and like I want this, I want to train so hard, but like now is the time where you're allowed to let your body just like have fun with it and like obviously have fun during competition season, but like during the summer isn't the time to like hurt yourself or like kill yourself over doing like stamina and stuff for no reason. Like you might as well just be like enjoying the process and loving literally loving what you're doing and just having fun with it. So I feel like
exactly.
that's a great way to keep motivated and keep dancing over the summer.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think also we were kind of talking about another thing that is important in the summer as you go into the fall is some like goal setting.
Yes.
And I know Harlow, you were talking about how you like to reflect and stuff. So
Mhm.
any tips you want to share for,
Yeah, for
taking
sure.
that into
After like oh sorry. After Um, yeah, like it's always this transition period, and I feel like I always like to do like a couple of little things before a major, like just for myself. Like I always write myself a little letter, so when I finish the major, I open it up and like they're usually the same kind of writing. Like it's usually along the lines of the same thing, but it's just like such a great feeling to like open it up. I actually have to open mine. Yeah, I haven't opened mine yet, but I need to. But it's like I just read it and I feel like really refreshed because I've made it months before and I don't know. I kind of like before every night before I go to bed, like if I roll over, I can see the letter and I'm like, okay, like I'm working towards opening it and being like, yes, like I did everything that I wanted to. I achieved it all. And like it feels it's a great feeling to have. But kind of that's not like really reflection, that's kind of like pre. So I would say for anyone like going to Great Brits or a rock disc, I would say maybe honestly write a letter, not necessarily now, but like right at the start of the season. And it's a great way to keep motivated and be like, oh, I'm so excited to read my letter when I've done everything, like when I achieved my goal or when I had 3 clean rounds for the first time. Like it's such a great feeling. So that's one thing you can do, and it's kind of like a cute activity. I just love writing myself a little letter. But something I love to do is about 2 to 3 weeks after a major, I usually just grab my notebook that I write in all the time for dance and just do like a little reflection. So it's like a recap, kind of like what we've been talking about today. But I usually ask myself like 5 questions. And the first one is like, how did the dancing feel? And that's the most important one because you can come off stage and be like, ugh, I'm so mad like at myself, blah 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 blah, and like have an amazing result. And you're like, oh well, maybe North Americans went really well for me, but I wasn't proud of my dancing. So I feel like it's really important to be honest with yourself. Like, how did the dancing feel? Did you feel like it was what you wanted to get out of it? Was it like how you practiced? Was it better? Kind of just like explaining the day. And then I ask, how did the result feel? And that's usually like either like, great, it felt so amazing, or it's like, oh, I wanted a little more actually, but I'm proud of myself for the things I did and the controllables I controlled. And I mean, that's the one thing out of my control. Or if something happened during the day, like you can explain it that. And like this way that you're recapping, it's almost like a closure moment because I feel like for a bunch of dancers, North Americans, it's kind of the end of the season, and then they have all summer and they kind of maybe forget about it, and then they come back and they're like, oh, wait, I remember this happened at nationals or this, and like they never really fully closed off on that moment and got ready for the future. They were living in like the past of North Americans. So I feel like it's important to kind of close off that chapter and then get excited for the next part, which is kind of what I always say. It's like, what are your goals for the fall, or what are your goals for this major, and what is your plan on how to achieve them? Like, how many days of the week will you be doing these exercises, or how many days will you be stretching? Like, just little things to keep you accountable. And it's honestly perfect over summer because you have the time to do things, but sometimes it feels like you like don't want to. Like, it's nice outside and you'd rather be with your friends, but honestly, like taking the time to just even reflect and write this little thing that takes 10-15 minutes is such a big bonus, and it really will help you in the long run.
Yeah, I absolutely love like everything you were just talking about, especially the closure piece. I feel like, I don't know, it's such a weird feeling to like end a major and then you're thinking about it, and then it kind of fades a little bit. And I think it's just so important to take the time to like properly reflect on it. Because that's where the growth happens. Because, maybe you didn't feel like you prepared, in the best way, and like that's totally okay because now you know and now you can fix it. But like if you never take the time to acknowledge that, then like if nothing changes, nothing will change, you know?
Oh, that is perfect. I feel like you have to like, in order to literally grow, you have to like make sure that you know what you need to work on and then move on from there. Like I loved how you said it was like it fades. It's so true because even from now, like I've like forgotten bits and pieces about the day, and now that I'm like recapping it, I'm like, oh, I'm remembering. So I feel like it's really important to like have those moments where you can just close it off and then move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like also, and then the goals going into the fall too. I think it's so important to set those like, and I do think you should have those like competitive result goals because we're competitive people. If we wanted to dance and not compete, we wouldn't be in this sport. Like, and so acknowledging that about yourself and then also making those goals outside of it. Like maybe in this fall, I really want to improve my flexibility and I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, maybe target training to help with that, or I'm gonna follow this YouTube video like 3 times a week or something. So I think it's just so
Exactly.
helpful to set those tangible goals and like really take the time to understand how you're going to achieve them and then what that means and stuff. And not to say you can't have like break time in the summer and like
Mhm.
have fun and stuff, but it's just understanding like where that fits into your goals and into your plan for the upcoming season and stuff.
No, yeah, I don't think I could have said it any better. Like that was perfect. I feel like it's so important to have those placement goals because as dancers, yeah, we are competitive people. We would not be doing this. We would not be getting on stage if we didn't want to succeed. And I actually saw a video today and it was all about like people being scared of like the competition aspect or being scared of like the result. But like if we knew the outcome, say like in the beginning of the day we already knew what the like standards was or who would win, like then why would we there's nothing to compete for, there's nothing to like show off for, like we're dancing and we're training to get on stage and compete, and those moments are so special, and it's so special to set a goal and to try and achieve it, and even if like you're not close, it's fine, like you've set a goal and you've tried your best to achieve it, and like I mean at the end of the day you can't control that, but if you literally controlled what you could have, it's such a great feeling. So I feel like it's so important to set those goals, but it's also more important to set those like the tangible goals of like, okay, I really want to work on my turnout. I'm gonna do turnout stretches every day. And like being consistent with that is so important. And I feel like in the summers where you can make a lot of progress. Like I've over some summers felt like I haven't like I don't even know, I haven't grown in one aspect and it's been hard. Like I'm like, oh, I wish my toe height would have felt better then, or I wish over the summer I could have worked on that. But I've also had summers where at like August 30th I'm coming and I'm getting ready to go to class. And I'm like, wow, like I feel great. I feel like my turnout has improved. I feel like I worked a lot on my presentation over the summer. So I'm like excited for the fall. So I feel like it's so important to have those little goals and then just to try and be consistent. Like every second day do something towards that goal because it will help in the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. That consistency is really like what makes up, your dance day on these majors and then ultimately like what you take from your dance career. So, yeah. I
Exactly.
think that's
Well,
awesome.
Aristea, do you have any little tips or things that you do to kind of reflect on your major or things that you like to do after a competition?
You kind of hit on like I feel like the big players, just good little reflection, like either by myself or like with my mom and my dance teacher, just on how we think the day went, what things like we can improve, what things like are out of our control. Definitely watching Fesh TV videos of like myself for some of that. What can I improve on? And then also a lot of the other videos that get posted. I think there's so many good dancers out there, and you can take such good inspiration from that. Careful of like too much comparison, but of course, trying to appreciate all the talent and like beautiful skill that's out there, and using that. And how can I become a better dancer and stuff?
No,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, so I feel like I guess I would just say that it's reflection, and then it's um once you've kind of made your like closure, as we were saying, with
Yeah.
whatever major you just had. For in this instance, it's the North Americans.
Hmm.
um, and then like kind of like letting it go and then on to the next, like even if it was like the perfect major, you enjoy that, and then you're like, okay, now it's time for something new, to just kind of give yourself that restart and fresh excitement. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. I feel like I just love this whole conversation. I feel like it's so great to have that moment where it's like you let go. And I feel like the letting go is so hard sometimes because you're like, oh, like that was the best day ever, or like, oh, it's like I wanted more. But in the end of the day, like it doesn't matter anymore. Like if anyone's watching this video and they had the best day of their career and you had the most amazing North Americans, that is awesome. But it's like now it's like if you're on to something new. It's a new season, it's a new chapter, and you can get ready for something new and even better to happen. And if you're watching this and you didn't have the best North Americans and you're like, ugh, like I can't wait to just like get started. It's like, okay, like let it go and then get started because like there's so much more like better things to come. And yeah, I feel like it's just so important on like learning about that everything happens for a reason and like you wouldn't be where you are if you weren't meant to be where you are. So like I feel like just it's the importance of like the closure and then like I don't even know like the entering into a new stage or a new phase of your dance career or your life. So I feel like that's really important to realize and also touching on the aspect of like watching all the dance videos. Like I'm someone who loves watching dance videos. I go on YouTube and Instagram and I'll just like watch random. Like I used to watch Mac and Megan all the time. Like I just loved their videos and I feel like it's just so inspirational. And I mean, sometimes you can take it and you can start comparing yourself and be like, oh, they're so much better than me, oh, whatever. But in a lot of ways, just like try and not mimic that, but try and just take whatever they have and like enhance it towards you. Like you don't have to be like them. You don't have to have those same steps, but you can like kind of transfer yourself into something that does a little bit more like that with keeping your same style and keeping your own unique like exciting, I don't even know, attributes, like just keeping yourself but also like trying to be a little bit more like I don't know, just watching those videos and be inspired. And yeah, I feel like just watching videos is just a great way to keep motivated. And honestly, I just love watching dancers and watching everything to do with Irish dancing. So yeah, but
I
yeah,
would
I was just
totally
gonna say
agree.
it's so important to reflect and kind of just like chill out for a bit and then get excited for the next chapter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that almost takes us to the end of this video. I feel like we touched on
I,
a lot. But I mean, Arcea, what would you last say, like the most important thing out of this video? What do you want dancers to kind of get out of this reflection, I guess?
oh my gosh, that's a great question. I feel like that regardless of how your NANs went, be proud of yourself and take a moment to reflect on that, your dancing, your result, your preparation, and then, you know, I guess just get excited for what's coming next because it's going to be amazing because you can make it amazing. So, yeah, just, get excited for the fall, get excited for right now, and yeah, it's also fun.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. I don't even know. This was all so good. But yeah, I just love that. Like, kind of reflect on whatever you can. And yeah, just be super proud of yourself because we know what it's like being at a major. It's like mentally and physically draining, but it's also so invigorating and exciting. And it just, yeah, if you want to have an amazing competition season next year, you can make it amazing. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
thank you
great.
guys so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We hope to see you again very, very soon.
Thanks for joining us in this episode of the New View podcast. We hope you enjoyed.
If you have any ideas about future guests we should interview or want to connect, you can find us on Instagram at newview.collective or email us at newviewcollective.mm@gmail.com.